Hey there, guys. So, how to earn $1 million in a year? What they're not telling you. I thought I would jump on and get right into what you're not being told a lot of the time about earning $1 million a year. Like, I've never done it, but I've been in the world of business for quite a while now. And, I've come away with a few lessons, right? So, one of the things they're not telling you is that, and I look back to when I began working in the corporate world, right? Like more than a decade ago, maybe a decade ago. How long was it? Something like that, anyway. uh, and and I wanted a high salary, right? Like that's what every employee wants. At least I did. A lot of the kids I knew back then, that's what we all wanted. Let's get a nice salary. Um, Now, looking back on it, you could actually do better earning a lower salary and getting exposed to better business skills. One of the skills that I've discovered to be very useful in the world of business, which I did not have back then, even though I was earning a high salary, was I didn't know the skill of sales, right? The skill of sales. It's something that I'm actively working on, actively developing, actively studying. And I didn't know the skill of marketing. Again, just as important as the skill of sales. I didn't know the skill of building a personal brand. Again, just as important as the skill of sales and marketing. And so you could be earning a very good salary but not actually learn the skills that are gonna make the biggest difference in your life. And so this is why a lot of the conceptions that we have when we go into the work world and we think like, oh, if I work hard I could one day earn $1 million. It's great, it's good, but that's not exactly how things work. It's like trying to get to the moon by getting into an aeroplane and flying really fast in the direction of the moon. uh, there's this little thing called gravity, right? Flying really fast in the direction of the moon in an aeroplane. That's not how things work. Like gravity is always gonna track that plane in the general direction of the curvature of the earth, right? To get technical, right? But that's how it's gonna be. And if you think you're going to the moon and you're flying from Africa, you aiming for the moon, but you surprise yourself, you land up in Singapore or you land up in Australia, but you're nowhere near the moon, right? You might have gone a long way from home, but you're nowhere near the moon, right? So that's generally how it is. Like a job is not really designed to get you to earn $1 million a year, unless if you're one of them lucky dudes that get to play in the NFL or the NBA. But then that's really not a job anymore. That's a special kind of thing. It's almost like a business in itself, and that's really the key, guys. Is if you're gonna make $1 million a year, you gotta be in business in one way or the other. You gotta be doing some kind of business in one way or the other. So think about a lot of the millionaires that like Rick Ross. You got Taylor Swift, right? The big musician right now, musician, but that's a business. She's in the music business, right? So you gotta be a business in one way or the other, in one shape or the other. You gotta have a business one way or the other, and that's really the key, guys. And something I'm gonna just point out in closing is, if you wanna make a million, you gotta start your own business. You gotta be the boss, and you gotta be in the game of business. Now, if you need some free resources to help you with building your business, you can check out some of my resources. The links will be in the description.